Hi everyone, Dennis Foley from Acoustic Fields. Today we're going to talk about room response curves. I get a lot of people sending me their room response curves that they measure, which is really nice, but we already have that work done for you in our database. Remember, we have a database now of over 130 rooms that we've built and measured. So we have all that data in there. So if your room is a particular size and volume, we have your room response curve in our database. So if you want to do it as an exercise, that's fine, but just remember it's really not necessary. Most response curves look like this. It looks like a snake. You got a big hump here in the low end. Let's call this 100 cycles here. So everything below 100, we have a big hump, and then we have a lot of sways and peaks through the mid-range. So these are called peaks. These are called troughs. So let's get our terminology right in the beginning. All the peaks and all the troughs, here's ideal, obviously. We want to get it plus or minus 2 dB over what we call a baseline measurement, okay, which is really just a standard. So, because this plus or minus 2 dB you can handle with EQ. So that's what our goal is when we do rooms. Our Sacred Ground studio here in LA is, I'm very proud of, plus or minus 1 dB. So anyway, the bottom line here is, how do we get all of this to look like this? All right, well, we have to first realize that the peaks and the troughs are all pressure related. This is energy that won't fit in your room because of size and volume. This is energy that won't fit. This is energy that won't fit. This is energy that maybe is fitting too much. This is energy that maybe is fitting too much. So it's all about pressure and energy. So we have to first look at the severity. How big of a peak do we have? And then we have to assign the correct technology to deal with that. So you have to really break your room response curve up. I break it up into 4 areas. And I apply the treatment that those 4 areas in the response curve need. The low end, obviously, is not going to be foam. Please don't use foam to absorb bass. It won't work. I'm so tired of saying that, but please don't use it. It doesn't work. We have to use the proper technology. Let's say this peak over here is plus 10 dB over what we really want as a baseline. We're not going to use foam because that's not going to work. So then our only other 2 choices for low frequency absorption are diaphragmatic and membrane. Membrane is the cousin of diaphragmatic. So for a plus 10 dB bump, we've got to use diaphragmatic because it has the horsepower and the strength to treat that kind of dip, that kind of peak. So we have to use diaphragmatic in that situation. Maybe in these lower situations here, we can use membrane, lighter weight, easier to build, etc. So you have to apply the right technology to the response curve, but realize that this is all pressure that doesn't fit. Then when we get up into the upper frequencies, then we can talk a little bit more about using diffusion and stuff like that to have an impact on it. But for right now, let's just stay focused on our peaks and troughs, which are pressure related. So divide the response curve up into the 4 parts, assign the proper rate and level of treatment. Then you have to decide where to put it in the room and all of that. And that's topics for a whole new video. All righty? Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our videos today. And if you did, we really would appreciate a thumbs up from you. If you have any questions or comments, you can go to the comment section, or you can go to our website, acousticfields.com, and fill out the contact form. Subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. We're now doing 2 videos a week. If you have some ideas for topics, you can submit those to us also. If you're having room issues, we have that free room analysis. You can click on the button below, and we'll compare your room to our database of 120 built rooms that we built and actually measured, and I guarantee you your room is in that database. So just click on the button below for the free room analysis. Thank you.